And thousands of Target customers are telling the retail chain they are outraged by a giant security breach. It is the second largest credit card theft in American history.
Target says information from 40 million accounts was stolen. The theft began just before Thanksgiving and lasted for weeks. Senior correspondent John Miller is a former FBI assistant director. John, good morning.
Good morning.
So what do we know about these people behind this?
Well, as the case is developing, attribution is the hardest part in a cyber crime because, you're not going to pick it up on the security camera. There's going to be no witness who saw the bad guy's face. So you have to trace them back through the ones and zeros and the fiber. And so far, that direction is heading towards Southeast Asia, around Vietnam. That's a bit of a surprise because usually these things are developed out of Eastern Europe, Russian countries, where there's a proliferation of hackers. But you also, in attribution, have to look at, just because that's where the server ends up, is that really where the end user is? So that's where they are right now.
So one, fascinating that it could be around Vietnam, somewhere in Southeast Asia. Number two, how did they get into the system? 40 million people.
So what this is this has been done before. If you go back to the 2006 TJ Maxx case, that's when you can kind of unpack and understand. They're sitting in the parking lot. All of the cash registers where you swipe it in that little credit card machine, that's going wireless to the server. Think of a building that has 1,000 doors. It's hard to protect that because, they're trying to pick up the wireless encryption, get through it. In the end, TJ Maxx upped its encryption security, but they were able to steal a lot of data that way. In this case, they're not sitting out in the parking lot trying to crack the wireless encryption on a laptop. What they're doing is they are tunneling right into the servers and getting to the data that's coming out of those machines. So this is fairly sophisticated. That said, there are tools out there like the black box exploit kit that you can rent for $20 on a one-day license that are favorites of hackers that will attack a firewall till it gets through into the network, that will then, you can program it to bring you what you're looking for, whether that's PowerPoint presentations if you're stealing intellectual property, or in this case, the form of credit card numbers.
So once they get the numbers, what do they do with them? How do they use them?
Well, these guys,
monetize them.
Let's talk about these guys as a supermarket superstore, a theft superstore. So these guys are on the wholesale end. They will take 40 million credit card numbers and they will bundle them into groups of 10,000, 20,000, and say you can have them for $1 a piece. 50 cents a piece, depending on volume. So think about that. If you're making sales at 10,000 a pop, those people then have to develop the identity around that. A lot of that is done by social engineering, and that's us. This is our own fault. They go to our Facebook page, they get our date of birth. Then they associate an address with that. Then they're able to put together the rest of the ID that you need to complete that credit card purchase, or they're in league with merchants.
Can I just ask you, I know we know that the Secret Service and the FBI are involved in this. Are there other intelligence operations that the United States have that might also be involved in that, given that this is coming from Southeast Asia? You know what I'm saying, like the NSA or anybody else?
So you've got the FBI, you've got the Secret Service. The NSA does a lot of work when it comes to the foreign side on criminal activity and hackers like this. So it is not out of the question they'd be involved in helping with that attribution piece.
John, thank you.